Hi everyone, my name is Jacinto and I'm an occupational therapy doctoral student at Keck Graduate Institute. Today I'll be presenting my capstone project titled Stroke Education for Secondary Prevention and Inpatient Rehabilitation. So my capstone is focused on developing and implementing an occupation-centered stroke education program within the inpatient rehab setting. The primary goal of this project was to improve patient and caregiver understanding of stroke, particularly emphasizing secondary prevention, discharge readiness, and the continuity of care. This program was designed to be delivered by any person on the interdisciplinary team and is tailored to meet the cognitive, language, and fatigue-related needs commonly experienced by stroke survivors in the acute phase of recovery. As part of this project, I developed structured educational content and facilitated weekly to bi-weekly 45-minute group sessions for patients and their caregivers, approximately 1 week after admission to the unit. The sessions covered key topics including types of stroke, recognition of stroke symptoms using BFAST, individual risk factors, lifestyle-based secondary prevention strategies, and the continuum of care after discharge. In addition, I also created digital stroke resource guides and collected both inpatient and outpatient survey data to evaluate the program's effectiveness and identify gaps in stroke education. I chose this project because of my strong interest in neurorehabilitation and my passion for working with individuals recovering from stroke. During my clinical experience, I observed that many patients were discharged home with limited understanding of their condition, their personal risk factors, and what steps it takes to prevent another stroke. Research shows that nearly 70% of individuals return home after hospitalization, and this gap in education can significantly impact long-term outcomes and increase the risk of secondary stroke. So this really motivated me to create a program that really empowers patients and caregivers and provides them with practical and meaningful information that is relevant to them and their recovery. And throughout this capstone, I gained several important insights. First, I learned that health literacy plays a critical role for patient outcomes. Many patients experience cognitive overload during the acute phase, so simplifying information and presenting to it in a clear, structured way is essential. Second, I learned the importance of being flexible when delivering education, as patients' cognitive levels, fatigue, and engagement can vary based on how much therapy they have and their energy levels. And I also gained valuable experience in group facilitation and evaluation through the survey data that I collected. And so some of the important findings from my capstone is that we found that patients really valued understanding their stroke, the individual risk factors, and clear steps for what they can do after discharge. However, there were also important considerations. So I also found that older adults and caregivers had difficulty navigating the electronic resources, highlighting the need for printed material if they have trouble accessing it digitally. Additionally, there were some neutral responses related to stroke warning signs and readiness for recovery. So it suggests that the education has to be reinforced further and also should be focused on how they can make small, more manageable changes to support their recovery and behavior change when they get home. The implications of this project for occupational therapy practice is significant. This work highlights the essential role occupational therapists play in providing education and promotes self-management and long-term health. Integrating stroke education into inpatient rehabilitation can improve discharge preparedness and create smoother transitions for patients and their caregivers to the community. Then additionally, by incorporating community-based resources like exercise groups, community mobility, stroke support groups, it can help facilitate a more holistic recovery for our patients and their families. So moving forward, this capstone will directly influence my future practice as an occupational therapist. I plan to continue prioritizing my patients and caregiver education, advocate for accessible and individualized education strategies and creating more resources that can help people transition after their stroke. And ultimately, this project really enforced the importance of empowering patients and the roles that OTs have in providing education and supporting their recovery. Yeah, so thank you all for your time. And if you have any questions about starting up inpatient education, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help. Thank you.